wonderful evening, and how is everyone doing? What a big night it is. And this is the debut of LA Late Night with a lot going on tonight. We'll be covering everything about your big stimulus checks. We'll be covering humor. We'll be covering food. And there is Ling Glenn in the live chat. Hope you're having a beautiful day, Ling Glenn. Hope everything is good, going well with you. I'll be covering everything tonight that you want to know because I have the earpods reversed. That would certainly not work. Big stimulus checks are available to millions of Americans across the board, and those big stimulus checks are absolutely incredible. $300,000 of stimulus checks across the board, 300 different checks from the federal government made law in the month of March. And tonight's recording, we'll go over those stimulus checks. We'll go over the latest breaking news. We'll be going over food and humor and more as we're dealing with the wonders of a new production here on set. We are working with a beautiful brand new lighting system just for this recording tonight, and you'll see it's reflected in a little bit of my glasses, and you'll also see the colors changing, which hopefully it stays in the hue of red. Then we'll be okay. Let me open the live chat because I can't see it on screen. How is everyone doing tonight? There we go. Hey, LA, and there's Elaine Glenn. Love the flowers behind you. Thank you, Elaine Glenn. I wanted to make sure that everyone has a lot of fun, that it's an experience for all of us. The purpose of the show is very simple: a lot of fun at night. Give you the latest recap of what we may have missed. Talk a little bit about what's going on that's important for all of us. Get ready for the next day, and just have a lot of fun. And I wanted something that was easy for me to get on camera in a way that's a little bit more conducive than the way it was before. And I happen to remember that I had this extra production system that I got earlier this year. I never used it, so here it is today on set. And there is Al Perent's Gray. How are you? And Lynn Glenn's loving the flowers as well. The purple orchids have done relatively well. The yellow ones are holding out decently at the moment. Let's see how long they stay in place. So how's everyone doing? And there's Diane Davis. How are you? And Al Prince Gray and Lynn Glenn and anyone else that is watching, jump in the live chat is open to anyone. Ask it away. It is a free form show. This is a live show. It is a lot of fun. We cover it all. Whatever you want to go off book with, we go there. We go that direction. So whatever you want to talk about, it is free form. The Tonight we learn a little bit more about why so many people are having difficulty agreeing upon where this economy is going. And we now know a little bit more about that tonight. And there is Diane Davis. Hey, hello, evening Hawks. Hello, evening so late. How are you? We learn a little bit more because we all have the same data, but the analysis is very different. And tonight we learned that the bond traders, the stock traders, the stock analysts, and the economists all have very different opinions with the same data. Now, sometimes they try to spin the data, but they're doing a little bit less of that than in recent months. These lights are hysterical. Before I went on air, it was going to green. If you ever put a green light on your face, it does not look good. A green light on your face looks like just what you think it looks like. The Incredible Hulk. It's just not a pleasant look. This red one is going in and out, which is very interesting. So long as it stays sort of red, I'm good. It went to blue earlier, and then it did sort of a spiraling. Blue also generally does not look good for people as a color. The reason why they can't agree upon the data, the analysis, is because the data is confusing, and the data is almost contradictory. Today we saw how contradictory the data was. If you took labor, you took the corporate earnings, you took the stock market, you took the bond market, it all looks like different economies. They don't match up. They're very, very different indicators, and they say different things. And so that's why one person's looking at one thing and looking at another. What do we have in that data tonight? In the data tonight, the most important data point is really the corporate earnings. So many corporations, nearly about 50% of them, missed in the third quarter, meaning they did not deliver good numbers, and the numbers were hideously lower, Target missing by 50%. This is not 5%, it's 50%. That worries the socks off of a lot of people. So everyone has that data. The next one is the labor. Jobless claims number today was better. It actually improved. So that's very fascinating. And then we go to other elements. Stock market has gone on a rally straight up, 15% up in the last 4 weeks. And there's Dragon. Hey, Dragon, how are you? So a lot of people are getting confused by the data because they say very different things. I love the baby blue. Yeah, the baby blue is good. When you hit the face with baby blue, it sometimes works. The purple works really well. That's what I use on the normal show, and I'm using red tonight. But the green, not a good look. Green is not a good look. So if the data is so contradictory, then what happens? You ultimately have to be cautious. You have to be cautious. You have to assume the worst case scenario. And that is why the bond traders are assuming the worst case scenario. You and I, Dragon and Diane and Linglen, and also who else is in the chat? And there is Alprense Gray and Diane. We all have to assume the worst case scenario, which is what the bond market is doing, what the economists are doing, and what you and I are doing. The stock market is assuming the best case scenario. That is very, very, very dangerous to assume the best case scenario. Lime green. And there's Francis Jordan. How are you, Francis Jordan? Thank you for becoming a brand new Purple Hawk tonight. The purpose of this new show on this channel is just to have a lot of fun. Just talk about whatever you want to talk about. I found breadcrumbs trails, says Anne. Anne found breadcrumb trails. I mean, Anne and I were shocked. Costco missed on corporate earnings day. Miss? How could Costco miss corporate earnings? And that's a big troubling warning signal. If Costco missed and also Target missed, then we have a big question across the board. And so ultimately the reason why I always feature corporate earnings on the channel is that is a big indicator of where this economy is going. If businesses are down 30% or 50%, they're going to lay off people. Are going to be less profitable. People lose their jobs. And it's important to note that I think a little bit different universe of mentalities is starting to grow. It really is. Now, uh, what Anne knows, what Dragon knows, what Diane knows, what Linglen and Alprense Gray all know is that this economy is going to be really weaker in January. It's going to be much weaker. And the analysts, everyone agrees it's going to be weaker. They just disagree how weak it's going to be. And it's important to understand that people who don't listen, don't read, don't understand what's going on outside of their universe are going to get really shocked when it happens in January. Because why? Here's a first example. So many people went out for a job as soon as the lockdown was over. They went and got that job. And then they heard that there was a shortage of workers. Everyone heard that there was a shortage of workers in early 2022. So what did the workers do? They asked for salary raises. I want more money. And I want time off. And I want to be able to work from home. And here's my list. I want Costco pizza every 4 hours. I want banana bread at lunch every day, provided by the employer. I want San Francisco hairstyles as often as I want. And I want the hair salon in the office. I want revolving lobster shorts on call as often as I want. Really crazy demands, often from Mitch, but crazy, crazy demands. Here's the problem is a lot of those people still think they can do that. They still think they can do those demands. And today we had the data. Today we had that really horrible data. 100% increase in 30 days on firings, 700% year to date compared to November of 2021 on firings. So firings are through the roof. Number of jobs being created by this economy, really the lowest we've seen since the pandemic, which means that you know how this is going to go. If people don't hear the message that you have a job, keep the job and keep your mouth zipped and keep that job, and they don't hear that, and they think they can just, demand this and demand some more lobster shorts and demand waivable checks waving back at me, demand, banana bread with lobster shorts, and also putting and your own holiday Christmas ornament where you're in the ornament. Those crazy demands are going to get people fired, and there'll be no replacement jobs. So let's go back to the stimulus checks. $300,000 of stimulus checks, 300 different checks across the board. This is federal stimulus. There's two branches of government. Did you not know this? That's two branches of government, and the branch that has the most money for stimulus checks is the federal government. The federal government has the most money for those stimulus checks, and it's important to understand what is the federal government. Congress and the White House. They've always had a lot more money than your city, county, or state. Your city, county, or state has gone bankrupt and had financial problems for a long time. Snow globe with lobsters shorts. Diane, I know in Arizona normally the RV parks are full by this time this year, and now they're empty. Why is that, Dragon? Is that the fuel to power the RV vans? Is that maybe what it is? Um, I thought I thought to myself, here's a digression because this is how we do it on the show. Dragon asked me earlier what I thought about the railroad strike, and I said, well, I don't know why Congress is getting involved with a railroad strike and telling the unions how to negotiate their labor agreement. But then I thought to myself this afternoon, wait a second, railroads, don't they run on coal? Don't railroads run on coal and big consumption of carbon dioxide? Isn't railroads just so anti Joe Biden? Isn't railroads just, Joe Manchin, Party of Five? Why would Joe Biden be talking about anything with railroads? Because it's not electric. It's not electric. It's not clean energy. I don't know when railroads became clean energy, so I have no idea where in the progressive playbook railroads became part of the equation, because they're just not clean energy and they're not green anything. Maybe green lamps for recording videos, but that's about it. Um, so the stimulus, that's big amounts of monies from the federal government, and that is what's been on this channel since March. You just found this channel wonderful. I will show you over the broadcast today. I want an electric chain set. Uh, yeah, electric chain sets are actually a lot of fun. They're hard to set up and they take up so much space. They're really nice for Christmas. I used to have, I think many years ago, I used to do electric train set for Christmas, but it's a lot of work. It really is. Any parent that really puts that effort in for the kid for the Christmas season and does the train for the Christmas tree, God bless you, because it is a lot of work. It's really pretty. Kids really like an electric train set around that Christmas tree for the holiday season, and it's very, very festive. But man, it's a lot of work. It really, really is, because you have to lay it out. You have to figure out where it goes. It's a lot of work. So, and and the big checks have been gotten by viewers of this channel since earlier this year. Let's jump into some of the comments. I have in front of me the production comments from today. In fact, let's just refresh the screen. You won't see the screen. It's behind. These are comments that are withheld. So Ramarni just wrote, "Where are the stimulus checks? I need them so much." Absolutely. Um, Here is Tom that says, I haven't seen it. The whole afternoon show today, I love. Did you watch the afternoon show at 3 o'clock? When I recorded, I thought, oh, that was really heavy. How heavy I came in. I came in really deep. And then afterwards, I thought, you know what? I just needed to do that. I needed to do it once, and that was it. Let me tell you what it was if you missed it. On Afternoons I Like today, I said, you know what? I'm not going to record anymore for people who have not caught up, understood, or listened for 2.5 years. Because, at this point, you've either seen me or not seen me. And if you just found the channel, well, I got all the information in the video you're watching right now, or whatever video is, you'll get caught up. But anyone that's asking the same darn question that has been asked for 2.5 years, I mean, it's at this point, why should I even do that? Why should I even answer that question? So, I have someone right now in one of the comments that's being held that says, "Can someone tell me where to go to the community page to apply for checks?" I mean, this is very basic, wrong stuff that has been covered on this channel for a long time. And Lynn Glenn says, yeah, those electric train sets are a lot of work. So I was very happy that we basically today, let me tell you what I said on Afternoons LA very quickly, is I basically said, we're going forward. We're going forward. The electric chain set has been set up. The electric chain set has been set up. And we are all on the train and we are heading forward into 2023 with our vast amount of information we've learned in 2022. We're not going to go backwards and repeat stuff or go around like an electric train in circles anymore for those people who simply have not caught up. Because it's, at this point, if you have not caught up, I can't repeat myself anymore because either that person has not cared to listen or never will listen. Things like, what time zone it is. I mean, I should not be making videos for what time zone it is. It takes 10 seconds to pull out your phone and say, hey, phone, what time zone is it? This is very basic stuff. So we got a lot to do. We have a lot to do to get ready for this recession, and we need to go forward. Um, Dragon says, why does anyone even think that there's anything on the community page? I have no idea. The questions that I see, sometimes I literally have no idea what's going on. If you saw earlier I posted a remark earlier, by me 2 hours ago. I'm getting these messages on Facebook where someone says, are you available to chat? Uh, what? The first time I saw it, I thought it was, I don't know, some overseas, some overseas scam artist. Are you available to chat? Uh, no, no. Well, obviously I don't respond, but no, I'm not available to chat. But so tonight, what I said on the channel was, I keep on getting these messages where people say, "Are you available to chat?" And that's the word they use, chat. I'm not making it up. So yeah, I'm available to chat every night at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on our new show, LA Late Night. That's 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You have questions about stimulus, jump in the live chat, and I'm here to chat. Now, Dragon Ann, Lynn Glenn, Gail, um, who else is in the Al Prince, Gray? A lot of you were in the show in this live chat yesterday, and you saw the comments that came on screen. You saw what we all talked about: Diane Davis, Dragon, Link Glenn. You all saw what we talked about. How many people were in the live chat last night asking questions? None. No one showed up last night asking questions. No one showed up tonight asking questions. So we're good. We are good. We're good. I'm here to answer questions if anyone shows up with questions. But I just feel, don't you feel good? I feel wonderful. You feel wonderful. I mean, we would all feel better if there was more Costco pizza, but we all feel wonderful. Ann says, oh, I'm good. I do not understand that there's, if it's live and then no one shows up and asks a question. And Ann says, we're good. I feel great. Don't you feel great? Because we all made ourselves available to answer questions. No one showed up asking questions. People that send me messages saying, available to chat. Are you available to chat? I don't know what they want to chat about. Just chat. That's all this says. Available to chat. I'm available to chat right now. But you're not here, so I guess you don't want to chat that badly. Uh, and and then ultimately, it's we adjust accordingly. Here's some other things that I'm seeing tonight, which are very important, and I just want to sort of touch on these. Some of this is a little personal commentary, and it's also important for where this economy is. Um, you can lead a horse to the water. You're looking good, Ally, says Diane Davis. Diane Davis says, I looking good. So if you see in this eye, you can see the the new light production. I had bought this earlier this year and never rolled it out. And it has a little button below here. And trust me, there's more than four settings. There's like 300 settings. And I'm like, please stop that. Because I kept on pushing the button. I'm like, it went to green and then when it went to purple. And then it did this, circus thing where it's like, the lights are, or and then a police siren type of lights. Oh, now it's doing blue and, okay, now it's doing blue and red. Wait, we haven't had blue all night long. Something started doing blue and red. Disco ball. Yeah, it does that disco bell. Is that a ring light? It is a ring light. Because you can see it in my eyes there. See it? Oh, that looks a little really weird. Doesn't it look really weird? Yes, it is a ring light. So before I went on air, I thought purple was going to work. Now it's doing blue and red. I'm okay if it does blue and red, just for a second of blue. But it went to green. Oh my God, that's scary. Green was scary. Purple, for some reason, this purple did not look good, and the blue was a little strange as well. But the green, horrible. Green looked like I was glowing. Green looked like I was Creature of the Blue Lagoon, one of those horror films that Mitch used to do. But, does that look strange? It does look strange. It looks very, very strange. So, um, oh, that's actually interesting. So now, how if I line it up like that? Last night I was in a. Am I making you dizzy? Last night I was in a ball in a Christmas ornament. Tonight I have two lights across the board. There are tricks on how not to have ring light show up in your lenses, and I think it's sort of you sort of go off a frame or you throw another light in the background, but it's it's a little bit fun tonight. One of the things I think is getting a little bit annoying is the constant reporting of every word from Elon Musk about Twitter. It's just getting a little bit crazy. Um, Now Elon Musk has five things to talk about. It's like, did he have enough things to talk about? He wants to talk about Twitter. He wants to talk about Tesla. He wants to talk about uh, the rocket thing. Then he was doing that in Los Angeles. I don't know what happened to it. We heard about for a year and a half, and then it suddenly zipped up. The digging holes everywhere. Oh, that was the craziest thing ever. And now today he's talking about putting chips in people's heads. No, I'm kidding not. He wants to put a chip in your head. So can we just like cut it out? Can we just I don't want to hear about chips in people's bodies. I don't want to hear about, rockets to the moons are enough. Um, but it's like enough already. It's beyond. It's like enough already. Can we get back to something a little bit more sensible? Like, it makes me feel like this. Chips in your eyes just makes you look like you have ring eyes. It's just that's how it sort of feels. Um, that's number one. Number two is Lynn says, I love the glasses. Um, the second one is there's a new show out called Money Court. Well, it's actually not new, it's second season. And they added Bethany Frankel to the show. Kevin O'Leary was on the first season. They added Bethany Frankel. I don't know why people keep on booking Bethany Frankel. She doesn't draw ratings. Her spinoff show, Bethany Ever After, which was her marriage spinoff, where she was getting married, was a horrible, horrible ratings show. Never drew ratings. Her spinoff of Frederick Ekman never drew ratings. I think there was one other spinoff she did also bad ratings. So how bad were Bethany Frankel's ratings on Money Court? Now, Bethany Frankel said CNBC loves the show. I don't think CNBC likes the ratings. They may like the show, but they don't like the ratings. How bad were Bethany Frankel's ratings on Money Court? The show delivered a 0.126. A 0.126? What does that mean? That means 126,000 viewers. A good show should pull at least a 1.0, 1 million viewers. That's not, that is not, your local public access. It should pull in about 1 million views. It pulled in 0.126. How bad was that? 126,000 viewers, that's like less than a bad day of half of a YouTube channel. I mean, that's how horrible that is. She was finished 124 out of 150 shows that night, so she was almost dead last. Um, Kevin O'Leary is also not a draw. I don't know where people keep on. He thinks he's a draw. He's no, he has a personality. He's good for social. He's good for commentary on markets, but he is not a television person that can stand alone in a show. He's not he does not have that appealing factor that viewers endear to. Um, and uh, the personality of Bethany Frankel's playing on that show is also sort of this know-it-all, which is very, very strange. I wonder if it's because they're getting whoever they can, cis dragon. Um, yeah, I think it's like who wants to do the show? Oh, you're available. Um, it's. Oh, she also had another spinoff with Mark Burnett, and that was also horrible. It just went nowhere. And every day she's being quoted for something again. It's like every day she has a quote out about nothing. Uh, she literally has a quote out all the time about nothing, and I don't know why do we need to keep on getting a Bethany Frankel quote. It's like Bethany and Elon are competing for nonsense quotes every day. It's like there's a nonsense quote coming from Bethany and a nonsense quote coming from Elon, none of which tells us anything that's really quite helpful. Now, there have been a lot of really great business individuals that have been out with great quotes the last 3 days. And there's Christina. So let's go back to some stimulus. So the $300,000 of stimulus checks, the 300 different checks from the federal government, the great news is it's still there. Great news is that you as members are doing better than ever before. You're going to 18 months of stimulus checks right now. 18 months of monthly stimulus checks, and you're getting a lot of them. And there you are getting on average about 5 checks a month and about $3,000. And so you want to really stay on top of it. Is Teresa in the live chat? I don't know if I saw that, but hi Teresa and hi Christine as well. The the sums of the money are so big. Let's jump in some more of the comments in the live chat. There was one comment in the live in not in the live chat in the back on the website. There was one comment earlier today which was so horrible. Well, well, it wasn't horrible. It was crazy that I almost recorded about it, and I thought maybe I'll bring it up in this show. And I thought, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if it makes sense to bring up nonsense or just ignore the nonsense. But then I think to myself, and let me ask you, do you think it's good to bring up nonsense so you understand how crazy things are out there? Or is it best to just sort of ignore it and move and just not even repeat it, and not even give it a platform anywhere? Sometimes I see something that is so peculiar, and it's not like, there's no checks in Michigan, all that type of silliness. It's when I see something that's like, do people really think this way? And when you see something like that, it just really, I start to think about for 10, 15 minutes. Do you think I should repeat these things even like right now? or do you think I should just sort of never, just sort of move on, and it's a crazy comment. I don't see anyone else saying that crazy comment. And I don't know. People just have this strange universe. As Dragon said earlier in the live chat here tonight, she said, "Why do people think you go to the community page to apply for checks?" Where did I ever say that? It's very, very strange. It's very, very strange. Um, love the glasses, says Christina. Oh, thank you. I have when I go out, I have another pair with the same type of rim. I don't think I like this frame on the top. The frame is, let me go in a little bit tighter. The frame is a rounded frame, and I thought it was just straighter frame. So some reason it looks good here, maybe because the camera is higher than me, it's looking down. Last night when I was holding the camera, it was more face on. I don't, and for pictures, I just don't like it. I'm not very happy with. I mean, they're okay. Then they're okay, but they're not with a straight frame. It's better. They're very cheap. I don't spend money on sunglasses. I just don't. It just doesn't make sense to me. For example, there's one pair of sunglasses that are who are they by? Oh, they're by Gucci. They're $500, and an exact copy of them. And yes, that is exactly. Actually, I think they're a little bit less than that. A little bit less than what Ann just said. Um, there's a complete copy of Gucci glasses on a particular major online retailer. I'm not going to say who it is. Um, a complete copy of $500. These are not Gucci. There's another pair of glasses I noticed the other night, about a week ago. They are $500 Gucci's, but are online with a complete copy for $5. It's just like they are completely a perfect copy. I don't know if I could pull them off. I was actually thinking about them earlier today. I thought maybe I'll just buy them. If they don't look good, I'll just return them. And they are $5. The reason I didn't buy them initially is because they're sort of green, and I don't usually wear green, and they're big. Those sort of those big glasses. A lot of some guys wear those big glasses. The ones that are like this big. That's not a look I've tried before, but yeah, if you don't know, Anna's amazed by these prices. If you don't know, over the last 15 years, if you wanted to buy really cheap sunglasses, you would buy them at the beach at your tourist resorts, like here in Los Angeles and Venice Beach. You go there and get $5 sunglasses. I bought them for tired growing up as a kid, um, for $5 or two for $5. But then when you go online now, man, the quality is insane, and it's $5. They basically take the designs of the major manufacturers and they just recreate it in for $5, and you really can't tell the difference. Dragon says I like Ray Bans, and then Diane says I like John Lennon glasses. No, they're the square. These are square. So John Lennon had the round bifocals. So these square ones, they're sort of square, and they're huge. You got to be careful with them because they can look a little bit crazy. Some, if they're black, then they look sort of scary, and if the color is a bright color, it's just a little bit too much. So there you go. Um, the Let's look at some more of the comments in the background on the website right now. One of the things that's important to remember is some people think that when Congress proposes something, it's a promise. And we don't see that too much lately, but we saw it early in this year. If Congress proposed a bill tomorrow and the bill says, we're going to send out this, 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 and I buy mine at Costco Kirkland sunglasses, if Congress proposed a bill tomorrow and it looked really good and you really liked it, but it passed the House and it dies in the Senate, there's some people that'll go out and say, well, they don't keep promises. You got to remember, when you're talking about legislation, it takes several branches of government to pass legislation, the House and the Senate. And that's why it's always important to know the process across the board. Diane, do you have John Lennon sunglasses? Proposal doesn't mean anything other than look at this, says Dragon. Absolutely. That's all it means, is just look at this. Um, I love that. I love that explanation. It's absolutely credible across the board. Um, I saw something from I saw something online earlier today where a lot of people were trying to not trying to tell uh, SSI and SSDI and Social Security recipients that they're getting a specific check, a specific stimulus check, and it was being done a lot. Then they were trying to tie it to states. And I thought to myself, maybe that's why you and I are seeing those crazy comments. There are some wacko videos out there where people are trying to tell people that if you're on SSI and SSDI and you're in certain states, you're getting an extra check just for you because you're on SSI and SSDI and you are in that respective state. It's untrue. It's very, very, very untrue. And now I'm realizing, I forgot, I should have known this because we've learned this over the last 2 years, is that when you see a certain question repeated a few times on a single day, and you think that's a really strange question, where did someone get that? It's because they heard it from another place. And that other place is sending out this false information. They're coming over here to ask about the false information. They all heard the false information. So remind yourself as we go into 2023, if you have those instances where you see three or four people asking the same bizarre, wrong question on the same day, whatever it is, then you know that it came from something else, and they're over here trying to figure it across the board. So Lynn Glenn likes those big sunglasses as well. Maybe I'll just get them. Maybe I'll just get them, and and see and see if they work across the board. The when you're getting sunglasses, a lot of it has to do with the lighting, the color. Last night, for example, you saw me live in these same sunglasses, but I was inside of three different establishments, restaurants, I guess you call them, and I took some pictures of myself. The first two pictures looked horrible, and then another establishment just about 20 feet away, pictures looked better. And the third one, the pictures looked incredible. So a lot of this is dependent upon the lighting as we go in and out of blue to red again. A lot of this is dependent upon lighting. It's not so much what you're wearing, it's also the perspective. And so give yourself a little bit of time when you're getting something across the board. Has everyone prepared their meals for the Hillside Strangler pick? Yes, Anne heard my comment last night. I look like the Hillside Strangler in some of the pictures. They were. I was like, what is this? This looks awful. Uh, I thought, what's going wrong? It did not look awful when I left the home, but I took the picture. I thought, this just looks like I'm gonna be I'm gonna be on America's Most Wanted by the end of tonight because this is not looking good. And so if you ever have those moments where you think to yourself, was I just like closing my eyes getting dressed tonight? Why do I look like I'm the hell John Walsh is after me? I'm running for the authorities of this outfit. Why, if you feel that moment in your life, give yourself a time to go to a different place, building, and get under different lighting, and then you'd be like, oh, it was the darn lighting. That's this, and bad lighting can really make you look scary. I've learned that many a time before. Let me jump into the live chat as well. It's strange how there it is. It's now back. Says Dragon says, and they want something to do and they do not want to do anything to get it. And this is Dragon and the Hillside Strangler. It's uh the, we have all learned the trajectory of where things are heading and where things are going. We have learned how much we can educate ourselves, and we have surprised that we can teach ourselves so much more. And 2022 is going to be a great year to end on. 2023 is going to be a beautiful year as well. And ultimately, you and I know that as we end 2023, we are going to lose the crazies that really didn't ever belong in the first place. The crazy people that don't even know what time of the day it is, want me to teach them what time zone they're in, and the people that write stuff in the live chat like there's nothing in Michigan, there's nothing in Alabama. It's like, okay, we've been dealing with you for 2.5 years. If you still are just doing that, then enjoy 2023 because 2022 because we're going on to 2023. We're just not going to do that anymore. And a show like this, Dragon and Diane and Lynn Glenn and Anne and Alpence Gray and anyone else's name, we're all having a lot of fun because we all understand these sort of basic things to get caught up with. And then when we understand all these basic items, then then we move on. Identify the remarks for what they are. Otherwise, some people might take the crazy remarks as truth. Just my thoughts. Diane, great comment. Um, it's interesting that one of the things I've been doing the last few days, to some extent, is that if there's a comment that needs to be responded to that's being withheld or held in the back end that's not approved yet, and that sometimes I will publish it. I will allow it to post so that I can get a response, so I can post a response to it across the board. So um, For example, I don't know how this got even posted. Oh, it did get posted. So Casey Davis just posted 1 hour ago, and she is a Purple Hawk. How do I get these checks? She's a member. She posted on Evenings LA at 5 o'clock tonight. Where do I get these checks? Wow, I mean the videos is an hour long. It's an hour going over every single check, and here's Casey Davis actually asking, where do I get the checks? Did you watch the 1 hour video? you know, it's not like I'm confused about one check or can you explain something in the video? It's like, where? Um, it was just covered for an hour, and you commented on the video that ran for an hour. It's just so peculiar, and that ultimately we can't. We just it's very strange. You know what it feels like. You know what it feels like is someone posting on the comments. Um, where is LALATE? You're watching me. How do I get to the LALATE channel? Um, you're posting on it. That's what's happening in the other one right now. LA. Oh goodness. So let me jump into fun, fun, fun in the sky. Let's jump onto the live show currently airing. Not you, me. I'm gonna see if I can jump over there. Okay, so there's 14 people watching right now. Pulling it up on my other screen here. Let me see some of the comments posting right now. I guess it's not the live show. So which one is the dragon? Um, oh, yeah, it is the live show. Where do we get those stimulus checks? Says Rebel, and that's a member. Did Rebel just become? Oh, Casey just became it. Okay, so, okay, this is permissible. This is permissible. So Casey just became a member. That is fine. Now, did Rebel just become a member? I can't see. Um, it's fine if someone just became a member and asked the question. That's totally acceptable. That's why they're finding the channel. It's if someone has already been a member for a while, a month or 2 months or 3 months, and doesn't get it. And I know the video's airing, and maybe they just they're just joining right. You used to see some of the comments, not the live ones. So, which show is it? Dragon, let's have some fun. Let's jump over to it. One of the other shows is airing on the channel. Let's talk about another show. Oh, there is the. Oh, this is interesting. I've never seen the live feed. It's so strange. I've never seen the live feed from this on another screen at the same time. So Evenings LA Extra. All right, so let's go over to that video right now. Evenings LA Extra is apparently a hot mess. Oh, there's 70 people in there. That's a lot. And oh, there's a tip. So Becky, thank you for the beautiful tip. Tip. Let's see the hot mess express that's underway right now. There's a lot of questions about the community page. Oh my goodness. Um, there's Teresa asking, when will Baltimore get it? This is the usual thing. Um, and there's Brandy. So Brandy, I'm actually going to put into timeout. I'm going to put Brandy in a timeout. That just and Dragon may see the comment. Brandy actually said there's too much talk and we haven't seen any results coming. And she is now in timeout. I mean, that type of comment is just unacceptable. Too much talk and we haven't seen any action because someone's going to see that comment and repeat it and believe it. So that is a dangerous comment to stay posted. Let's see what else is. You're getting a check on the 1st, then on the 30th for January. Again, I'm putting that into timeout. That's Eddie. This whole notion of when particular checks post is just a strange thing. Um, Here's a last thing. I think I want to say it because I think I deserved the right to say it. There has sometimes been certain people who think that stimulus checks are only for them and for no one else, and that they are the only group that deserves stimulus checks and that no one else deserves stimulus checks. It's so peculiar, but it's very anti purple power. Anti purple power is all about helping each other and being very supportive of each other. We're all from different walks of life. We also have different stories. Some are single, some are married, some have children, some don't have children. We have different walks of life. And please, if you try to think of this as only about you, then you've made it too small. So don't ever say, when is a stimulus check coming for people just like me? And Dragon knows what I'm saying because I see it in her comments right now. I don't want to say the group, but it's very clear. There's certain individuals sometimes that think that stimulus is only for them. They should only be getting stimulus. No one else should be getting stimulus, which is so peculiar. It's very egomaniacal. It's very self-serving, and it's very uh, it is unhelpful to other people. We're here to help each other. We're here to help each other. We're all one family. We all have the same, we all have hearts. We all care about each other. So never make anything about only you. Don't ever make it only about you and your universe. Uh, and you and I know that the federal stimulus checks are from the federal government, so it doesn't make a difference what state you are in. So don't make it about your state. Don't make it about your community. Don't make it about your group you associate with. Keep it to yourself. Egomaniacs are not allowed, says Anne. Absolutely. Don't don't make it only about you. Make it bigger because we are all here for one another. And when we're going through this recession together, what's important to understand is that it's going to be a recession that impacts all of us. One of the things, big things I was trying to really hit hard today on the recordings was this recession, you're going to need stimulus for. Why? Because it's not going to be like the prior two recessions. If you're older, you remember the prior two recessions. The first one was 2000. The second one was 2008. The 2001 was from the savings and loan debacle, which were a form of financial institutions. They wrote loans that they should not have written loans for on homes and real estate, and they just wrote loans, crazy loans, and they didn't have the money for it, and they went under. The savings and loan debacle really hurt anyone exposed to savings and loan, which was not you and me. So you and me may not have been impacted by that recession of 2000. The 2008 was the tech bubble. I wasn't impacted by it, but I was around people that were in it. I guess you could say I was sort of in it or around it or in the parties of it and associating with people that were in that bubble like environment. But if you weren't exposed to it financially, it didn't impact you, did not impact you. This recession is going to impact everyone. And what's important to know is that my personal sentiment, we are all in this together, says Lincoln, and says Dragon, we're all in this together. And that's right, says Anne. Here is my here's my personal opinion. I may be totally wrong, but here's my personal opinion is that there is a current generation that is from about, when are we getting stimulus checks, says Rita Lopez. So stimulus checks, Rita, have been available since the month of March, and they are from the federal government. And on this channel, I go over these incredible stimulus checks. There's 300 different checks of $300,000. And these incredible federal stimulus checks were passed in March, are still available today. And in all the recordings of this channel, I go over them. The average viewership of this channel is now getting 18 months of monthly, 18 months of stimulus checks. On average per month, they're getting about 5 checks a month, bringing them to about $3,000 a check, $3,000 a month over 18 months. How do you get these checks? You go under the video, you join this channel as a member. Then in the membership newsletter delivered from me to you, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which was about about an hour ago, you go down and apply for these incredible checks. These are big sums of money, tens of thousands of dollars. You do it right now. And over all the broadcasts, I show you how to do it. There's currently um, try to keep track. One, two, three, four. I think there's four shows currently airing at the same time. There's this show. There's LALATE Live on Channel 1, currently airing. That's number two. There's Evenings Extra, currently airing on Channel 1. That's the third show. And on LA 1 is Stimulus Live, currently airing. Oh, wow, that's four shows currently airing at the same time. Maybe I should have had something here on the channel number three. A five, counting this one. Is there a fifth one? Oh, maybe there's a fifth one. I'm losing track of all the shows. And so we cover it, and we have a lot of fun. And thank you for making tonight. You're everywhere, sister. Yeah, yeah. I'm everywhere. I'm even in Christmas ornaments. So here's a funny story to end on the night. Last night, before I filmed in front of the Christmas tree for you, I had been in one, two, three establishments that are right next to each other, and the final one was a brand new establishment. I think it's only been open like a week. Really, really beautiful layout, very sort of innovative um, configuration. And I was by the bar, and they had a game on. I think it's college basketball. And I looked behind me, and they had basically framed out the wall so that was all open. You know how a lot of restaurants are doing it right now. So imagine there's no windows behind me; it's just framed out, just open space. I thought that's really nice. Beyond that, they had this fabric sort of looped like this, looped and draped on above you, sort of like sails, white linen fabric. I thought that's gorgeous. So I was telling the bartender, I really like this layout, and I like that thing outside. It's gorgeous. He said, yeah, they just put it last week, but they didn't think this through. I said, what's wrong? He said, I said, there's something above it, right? There's a roof above the fabric. You can't just have fabric in the sky just hanging there. He said, no, there's fabric in the sky hanging there. I said, what are you talking about? They just looped fabric in the sky, above the diners. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's not going to last like 1 minute. And needless to say, he didn't look. He said they didn't look at the weather report because it's supposed to rain. And of course, it did rain today in Los Angeles. He said it did rain in Los Angeles. They put up this strange fabric looping in the sky, which is absolutely gorgeous. But boy, no one ever thought. So it's open sky. What happens when it rains? Yeah, what happens when it fades? I mean, uh, it's just very bizarre. It was fabric draped like this, like you're in the south of Rome. It's gorgeous, but there's nothing above it. So when the birds fly and sit on top of you, yeah, it's it's just not going well. Christine Constella, how thank you for becoming a purple a hawk. So there you go. Thank you for everyone for joining me tonight on, I guess you would call this a series debut of LA Late Night. I like this configuration. It makes it easier for me. I can still go on location with you now that I have sort of the configuration down on the lighting and how to do it sort of quick and simple, and I can keep the setup in position to the extent it doesn't block the normal set, then I can do this much more often and much with a lot of ease. And so bring your questions. Bring your questions if you have any, and otherwise, have a beautiful evening. There's, I guess, five other shows currently airing. So are we getting stimulus check? Says DJ Fat Glasses. Wow, and we were just talking about fat glasses earlier in this video. Who knew we were talking about fat glasses earlier in this video? Yes, you're getting a stimulus check. Passed in the month of March, and these incredible checks are from the federal government. You need to apply for them. The average payout that viewers are getting right now is 18 months of monthly stimulus checks per month, about five checks per month. Five checks per month over 18 months, and each month is averaging about $3, $4, $5,000. So it's a lot of checks. It's from the federal government, so it's available for you. And to learn more about them, jump over to the other live show currently on this channel right after this feed ends in about 5 seconds. or jump onto Evenings Extra, which is currently airing well on the channel. Thank you, Christine, for the super chat. I really appreciate that across the board. Very, very kind. And and it explains how to apply for those incredible checks across the board. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you for joining me, and stay with LA for more.